everyone loves free games, especially if they are just as good as the paid ones. So, if you are broke like me, well, let me show you my collection of 15 legendary free games on Steam to get you through 2025, or at least the first half of it. Let's start with Counter-Strike 2, a classic that refuses to fade away. Sure, the Counter-Strike series has been around forever, but this updated version takes everything we loved about the original and cranks it up a notch. And it's free. You can jump in right now, no strings attached, and just dive straight into those chaotic and intense matches we all have come to love. What makes CS2 so special is how it keeps things simple yet insanely competitive. Whether you're defusing bombs, rescuing hostages, or just trying to outsmart the rival team, it's all about skill, teamwork, and strategy. Something that keeps this game still valid. So if you are looking for some action, either alone or with friends, this is the one. Marvel Rivals is one of the latest gems on Steam, and let me tell you, it's a must-play. Fans of Marvel or anyone just itching for some epic action will love the wild mix of superheroes and villains clashing in explosive battles. I mean, you could do something crazy like pair Spider-Man with Loki to take on Iron Man and Thanos. It's totally up to you.
I'm opening a portal. Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
The gameplay nails that sweet spot between fast-paced action and strategic depth, letting you pull off insane combos and team-ups. And the game looks insanely stunning, with every character looking like they've leaped straight out of the comics. Add to that a free price tag, and you've got a super addicting Marvel's superhero game that you can play together with your friends to fight the rival teams in epic battles. Dark and Darker is one of those games that's tricky to sum up, but it's definitely worth a shot if you're into genre mashups. I mean, you could describe it as an extraction shooter, but then it's also a looter, a PvPvE dungeon crawler, and a first-person swordplay game all rolled into one. It's like someone took all your favorite mechanics, threw them in a blender, and somehow made it work brilliantly. The game drops you into these dark, eerie dungeons where you're battling other players, AI-controlled enemies, and your own nerves, trust me. You'll be scavenging for loot, trying to stay alive and figuring out the best moment to make your escape, all while dealing with the brutal combat system that rewards precision and timing. It's challenging, chaotic, and insanely rewarding when you pull off a good run. If you're up for something intense and totally unique, Dark and Darker is a must-try. Delta Force is another high-octane shooter that's been making waves in the free-to-play market. And honestly, 2025 feels like the perfect time to jump in. The game already has a solid following, but with more players diving in every day, it's the ideal moment to get in early and sharpen your skills before the competition really heats up. I mean, you could do worse than dominating lobbies before everyone else catches up. What makes Delta Force stand out is its blend of tactical gameplay and all-out action. You are getting Call of Duty vibes, and while still enjoying the quirky arcades of likes of PUBG, the maps are massive, the combat feels incredibly polished, and the variety of weapons and gadgets lets you experiment with all kinds of strategies for a long time. It's the kind of shooter that keeps you coming back for just one more match. Supermarket Together might just be the most fun you'll have with friends. This game is chaotic, hilarious, and wildly addictive. It's a supermarket simulator where you and your buddies run a grocery store, but calling it just a simulator doesn't do it justice. I mean, you could juggle restocking shelves, managing checkout lines, and keeping customers happy, or accidentally cause absolute mayhem by knocking over displays and setting off this insane chain reaction. The charm of the game lies in its over-the-top co-op gameplay. You'll be shouting at your friends to grab the right items or stop chasing rogue shopping carts while trying to hit sales targets. It's the kind of game that thrives on teamwork but doesn't take itself too seriously, making it perfect for endless laughs. This is like my next favorite game after Overcooked 2. Once Human caught a lot of us off guard, and honestly, I wasn't expecting it to deliver such a solid experience, but here we are. It's one of those games that sneaks up on you with its unique blend of survival, action, and a creepy yet fascinating post-apocalyptic world. I mean, you could dive into this wasteland and lose hours just exploring, scavenging, and battling monstrous creatures. What really makes Once Human shine, though, is its attention to detail. From the eerie environments to the deep crafting system and intense combat, it's all designed to keep you hooked. And just like most post-apocalyptic survival games, the fun is playing the game with friends. teaming up with them, or going up against rival groups. It just keeps the game fresh for a very long time. If you're into survival games with a bit of a horror twist, this one's absolutely worth your time. Strinova is another epic title that brings something truly unique to the table. It's a good mix of strategy, exploration, and storytelling that manages to keep you hooked from start to finish. I mean, you could focus on building up your resources and expanding your influence, or dive into its rich narrative, filled with intriguing characters and unexpected twists. The game's highly replayable. The choices you make matter, shaping your world and the alliances you form along the way. The visuals are stunning, the gameplay is smooth, and there's always that sense of discovery pushing you to explore just one more turn. If you're into games that combine strategy with immersive storytelling, this one's definitely worth your time. Path of Exile really doesn't need much of an introduction. It's been around for ages and has really made a space for itself as one of the best action RPG out there. I mean, you could spend weeks just exploring its insanely detailed skill tree or experimenting with endless build possibilities. It's the kind of game that rewards you for being, well, grindy. What sets Path of Exile apart, though, is its constant evolution. The developers keep things fresh with regular expansions, leagues, and updates that add new mechanics, storylines, and challenges. The combat is fast-paced and really satisfying, plus it's got rich lore. And just the whole scale of what you can achieve in this game is simply mind-blowing. If you're into action RPG with depth, complexity, and a thriving community, this one's an absolute no-brainer. If you are more into hardcore, realistic military experiences, you need to check out Enlisted. It's gritty, immersive, and doesn't hold your hand, which is exactly why it's so good. You will be commanding a squad of soldiers in intense, large-scale battles, or take a more personal approach and jump into the action yourself. Either way, the game throws you into carefully recreated World War II's battles with a level of detail that's really impressive for a free game. What sets Enlisted apart is how it balances realism with fun. You've got authentic weapons, period-accurate vehicles, and massive maps that force you to think like a real commander.
Мы должны удержать эту точку!
I've really enjoyed the squad-based mechanics in this game that let you control an entire team and can switch between soldiers on the fly, keeping things super fresh. So if you're craving a military shooter, I highly recommend you play this one. SuperVive is easily one of the most innovative games on this list. At first glance, it might look like just another top-down MOBA, but give it some time and you'll realize there's way more going on here. I mean, you could start with traditional MOBA mechanics, but then you're suddenly thrown into a full-blown battle royale experience, complete with intense showdowns and high-stakes survival moments. It's really amazing how the game has mixed different genres to create this unique experience. You've got the strategy and teamwork of a MOBA mixed with the unpredictability and adrenaline of a battle royale, all wrapped in fast-paced gameplay that keeps you on edge. The learning curve might take a bit of patience, but once you're in the zone, it's an absolute blast.
Second got him. I'm healing.
If you're looking for something fresh and genre-defying, SuperVive is well worth a shot. Let's switch gears for a bit and talk about something cozy. If you're looking for a laid-back, relaxing experience, Palia is exactly what you need. It's like the ultimate chill game, where you can farm, craft, fish, and just unwind in a beautiful, peaceful world. I mean, you could spend your days decorating your home, hanging out with friends, or helping the locals with their daily tasks, all while soaking in the gorgeous atmosphere. The game's world is super inviting, with vibrant environments and a calm vibe that makes you feel right at home. There's no rush or pressure, just a chance to take things slow and enjoy the simple joys of life. It's a great one for anyone who has played Stardew Valley. It's kind of like that, but more visually appealing and detailed. Okay, it's time to give at least one racing game some love, and Asphalt Legends Unite definitely earns a spot. I'll be honest, it's not my personal favorite, but I mean, you could do a lot worse if you're into high-speed arcade racing, with over-the-top action. The game has all the hallmarks of a good arcade racer. It's got sleek cars, flashy tracks, and enough adrenaline-fueled moments to keep you glued to the screen. What makes Unite stand out is its accessibility and sheer variety. You can just get into the game and perform some epic gravity-defying stunts while racing with your rivals. The game even lets you unlock and customize a garage full of dream cars. Of course, it comes packed with a multiplayer mode that pits you against racers worldwide in fast-paced matches. So guys, if you're in the mood for something fast, fun, and a little flashy, this is one racing game worth checking out. The Finals is one of those underrated gems that deserves way more attention. It's a stylish, fast-paced shooter that stands out with its incredible visuals and unique mechanics. I mean, you could jump into the chaos of its dynamic, destructible environments and use them to your advantage, like blowing up walls, collapsing buildings, and creating total mayhem to outsmart your opponents. What's great about the Finals is how it mixes those flashy looks with a tactical depth. The matches are unpredictable thanks to the ever-changing maps, and the massive number of ways you can approach each situation gives you plenty of replayability. Plus, the competitive nature of the game keeps you coming back for more as you try to climb the ranks. If you're into shooters that reward creativity and style, this one's a must-play. Then we have SCP Secret Laboratory. This one's for all the horror fans out there who love a good mix of chaos and paranoia. It's basically a multiplayer survival game that throws players in this strange world where you're never quite sure who or what you can trust. The game lets you take different roles throughout the game. You will be a scientist trying to escape, a security guard maintaining order, or a soldier from an unknown directive. This game is super unpredictable, like every round is different, with unique scenarios unfolding as players take on various roles and objectives. The atmosphere is tense, the community is lively, which is essential for multiplayer experience, and the thrill of either outsmarting your enemies or scaring the life out of them is unmatched. This is really a great option for anyone who loves horror survival games for absolutely free. Last but not least, I've got World of Tanks for you. I am not really big into tank battlers, but this one I can easily recommend to anyone who loves the genre. This game offers massive, large-scale battles with tons of customization. I mean, you could take your pick from hundreds of tanks, each with its own strengths, weaknesses, and playstyle, and then jump into battles where strategy and teamwork are just as important as raw firepower. The scale of World of Tanks is what makes it so impressive. The maps are huge, the action is relentless, and the variety of vehicles means there's always something new to master. Sure, it does take a while to get used to and master the tank battles, but it's so rewarding. It's a free-to-play classic for a reason. And if you haven't tried it yet, now's the perfect time to join the fight. And with that, we have reached the end of our list. Guys, I don't think free games get any better than this. Let me know if you liked some of these games, and if you are going to give any of these a shot. Also, drop some of your favorite games down in the comments, and I will include them in my next list.